Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel Asia Learns English. Today I am going to present you the topic self-introduction for interview. As you know that there have been so many cases that the students are not being able to get visa for abroad study because of their poor performance in interview, or especially IELTS and PT students, they fail in the speaking section and they are not being able to get higher bands in their speaking section. And most of the students who are trying to enter for their studies, they are being rejected because of their very poor performance in interview. And that's why it's my topic today, which seems very important for learning English at the beginning. Okay, so without any delay, let's go to our topic. While introducing yourself or while going to your interview hall, there are certain things that you have to maintain before entering the exam hall. Okay, let's say interview hall. Okay, so your dress up matters. You should put on very standard, very ironed and very formal dress. I suggest you to put on ironed and formal dress while going for interview. And second thing is to make entrance. Okay, while entering, you stand at the door and then ask for permission to make entrance. Okay, you may say, may I get in, sir? May I come in, ma'am? In this way, you can make your entry there, and then immediately after you make your entrance, you have to greet the interviewers. Okay, you have to greet the interviewers. If that's the case of saying morning, you have to say good morning, or you can just say warm greetings to you all and good afternoon if it's the situation. If it's the time, you can say good evening if that's the evening time, and so on. And before having seat, you have to ask for permission to have your seat. May I sit here, sir? May I have my seat on this chair, sir? Okay, you can ask in this way. May I sit here? Very simply you can say, and you have your seat. Okay, and then the interviewer may ask you question. The first question anytime is to introduce yourself. Okay, so while introducing or responding any sort of questions, you have to speak very naturally. Okay, you should not exaggerate yourself. Okay, the interviewer may think differently. That's why whatever you have in your heart, whatever your feelings and experiences are, on the basis of those things you have to introduce yourself or speak in interview. Okay, so there can be two ways of introducing yourself. Through two strategies or two methods, the interviewer may ask you the question. Okay, one is questionnaire. This is the series of questions one after another, and another is direct introduction. In this section, you will just be asked is introduce yourself. Give me your short introduction or something like that. Okay, so at the end of this video, I'll prepare a set of direct introduction and what can be the possible questions and responses to the questionnaire and questions. Okay, these questions based on these topics. Okay, so in any type of interview, there can be the question to give your name. Okay, so for name, how you say your name, be ready for that. And the interviewer may ask you your address, where you're from, where you live, where you reside. There can be series of questions, but you should prepare how you give your address. And the possible question can be from your age. Be ready how old are you and how you are going to tell the interviewer about your age. And another number 5 is academic qualification. Academic qualification, that's your degree, that's your academic degree. Okay, so you have to be ready for you might have passed BEd, you may have an MA certificate or something like that. And very important is your experience. If you are applying for any kind of job, you should say your experiences. Okay, how many years you are familiar with that job? How many years have you been working as a tutor, working as a plumber, working as an electrician or something like that? And apart from experience and qualification, there can be the questions from your skills. You have to tell about your skills. Sometimes you can say, I have very command over spoken and written English. You may also say, I have very good command over computer, especially MS Word, PowerPoint, and MS Excel. And there can be questions from your likes and dislikes. What do you like doing? What you don't like doing? Okay, there can be questions from this area. And very importantly, hobby. Hobby is another very important topic. So you may know what hobby is. It's your interest. Okay, hobby is your interest. Okay, it's the time you spend. Okay, doing various activities like watching television, reading newspaper or something like that when you are in leisure time, or you pass your spare time with that. And then number 10 is trainings you have taken that's related with your job or your job you have applied for. Okay, and then there can be another question, that's why for this job, why are you applying for this job, why are you trying to go into this country, okay, why are you going to Qatar, why are you trying to work in the USA. Okay, there can be this sort of question. You have to be well prepared for this. Okay, apart from these series of questions, you may also be asked to describe any building that you like the most, or any event that's impossible to forget in your life, the unforgettable moment of your life, unforgettable event of your life, okay, memorable event of your life, or any person who has impressed you a lot. Okay, these sort of descriptory questions can also be asked in your interview. Okay, so without delay, we are going to ask question and respond all the topics I have mentioned here. As I mentioned earlier, introducing your name, telling your name to the interviewer is your first question, first step of entering to the interview. There can be different ways of asking your name. Okay, what's your name is most common. What's your name? Can you tell me your name? Your good name, please. Your full name, please. Can you tell me your full name? There can be other different ways of asking your name. Okay, but you should be ready to give your name in very appropriate manner. Okay, so you can say, my name is. My name is Eunice. My name is Eunice. My name is Amisa. Okay, or I am Amisa. It's me, Amisa. Okay, there are so many ways you have to give your name with. Okay, and number 2 is to ask your address. The second question for your interview may be asking your address. Where are you from? Where do you live in? Where have you come from? Okay, your address is asked. You may say, I am originally from Tanahu, and I have been living in Barakpur 5, Chiton. Okay, I am originally from Kerala, and recently I have been living in New Delhi. Okay, you can answer in this way. Another question that can be asked in your interview is about your age. Okay, you may be asked as, how old are you? Tell me about your age. What's your age? There are different ways, and you should be ready to give your age in appropriate manner. For example, I am 25 years old. Okay, I am now 30. Okay, you can answer like this. Okay, next is your academic qualification. Okay, here the interviewer may ask you, what's your academic qualification? So there can be question from your qualification. It's very important part for any sort of interview. the question can be, what's your qualification? What's your academic qualification? What academic degree have you achieved? Okay, this sort of question may be asked and you should be ready for your answer. I have an MA in Major English. Okay, I have completed MA in Sociology or something like that. And your qualification chapter will be okay. So there can be question from experience. Okay, it's also very important while applying for any kind of job. What's your experience in this job? Tell me about your experiences regarding this job. There can be different ways and you should be ready. I have been working as a teacher for 4 years. I have 4 years teaching experience or something like that. And you can very easily answer the question from experience. Okay? From skills, you can be asked, what skills do you possess beside teaching, for example? Okay? What skills do you possess beside plumbing? Okay? You can say, I have good command over spoken and written English. I am good at computer. I have learned so many computer programs related to this job. Okay, I have a skill of operating computer. You can say like this. Okay, for giving your skills. Okay. Okay, likes and dislikes is another important chapter while introducing yourself in an interview. So the question can be, what do you like doing? What do you hate the most? What do you like the most? Okay, this sort of question can be asked and you can say, I like teaching, I like driving, I like riding bike, I don't like teaching the girls, I don't like bullying or something like that. Asking question from your hobby is asking your interest. So you should be clear that hobby is what you do in your spare time, how you spend your leisure time. Okay, that's your hobby. For example, you may spend your time, spare time especially, watching television. Okay, reading newspaper, just scrolling Facebook. Okay, something like that. The question can be, what's your hobby? What are your hobbies? You can say, I enjoy watching television in my leisure time. Okay, I enjoy reading BBC News in my spare time. Okay, you can say like this. Your training is important part of your job. Okay, the more you are trained, the better performance you can do. Okay, so that's why there can be questions from trainings too. Okay, for this, the question can be, what trainings have you taken related to this job? Okay, you can say, I have taken 5 days trainings related to this job. I have taken 10 days proficiency increasing trainings. Okay, you can say like that for your trainings. So this is last but not the least. Okay, it's very important part of your interview. Why are you applying for this job? Or why do you choose Australia for your higher studies? Or why are you going to be a doctor? Okay, so these are the possible questions maybe asked in your interview. That's why for this you have to be ready for the job you have applied for. Okay, I enjoy, for example, if the question is for teaching, then you have to say, I enjoy playing with the kids, I enjoy imparting my knowledge to others, I like playing with the kids, I enjoy, the songs, the activities of the kids, I love the behaviors of children or something like that. And if the question is, why do you choose Australia for your higher studies? You can say, Australia has so many reputed universities or colleges. Okay, the weather is very much appropriate to stay there or something like that. If you maintain all the things and if you do as you have learned in this video, you can very easily introduce yourself for any sort of interview. Okay, and we have the another chapter that's left is direct introduction. How to introduce yourself if the interviewer asks you, tell me about yourself. That's our serious concern, and that's what I am going to write on the board. So this is another way of asking you to introduce yourself. Okay, the question can be, tell me about yourself. This is direct question. That's why without delaying, without any hesitation, you have to go thoroughly with what you have prepared for interview. Okay, so good morning. You have to greet at first, and then you tell your name. My name is RC Giri. People call me by my first name RC. I'm from Kerala, India. Currently, I live in New Delhi. I have been living here for 7 years. I have an MA in sociology. Your qualification can be different. That should be in accordance with the nature of job you have applied for. And I have 5 years of work experience in this field of public awareness. I like playing, shopping, and talking in English with native speakers. I spend my spare time watching cricket on television. I have good command over computer and English language. I have taken some trainings related to this job. So if you select me as your employee, I will attempt my best for your company. I will satisfy you with my sweat and blood. Okay? For direct question, you should prepare this one, and you can just change the nature of your study. With the nature of your job, you have to change certain things. Otherwise, you just keep in your mind, set your mentality, be mindful, be very honest, be very much kind, and be very much natural while speaking. Then you have higher possibility to be selected for interview. If you are going abroad, this is the way to introduce. If that's the question, that's direct introduction. That's the question, tell me about yourself. And if you have applied for the job, you have prepared so many things in this video, good luck for you. You will certainly get a job.